And I beheld heaven open, and behold the white horse. And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he's a judge and makes war. We are at
so
war.
You better lace your straps up.
Physical and spiritual.
We're at war. So you better lace your straps up.
Man, the hell up this road.
This is war.
We are at war.
So you better lace your straps up.
Physical and spiritual.
We're at war. So you better lace your straps
Man, the hell
up.
up this road. Big tanks, warships, and planted hands with small chips. North Korea, Russian spies, war is at our doorsteps. History doesn't lie, they beat the slaves with horse whips. So I think it's only right we pay them back with small tips. End of time, spoken of, it's gonna get a little warm. Daniel 7 started 8, judgment of the little horn that beat us down, held us back, called us by obscenities. Prepare us a table in the presence of our enemies and pay them back. Worse than that, they argue that the earth is flat. Our babies dying, mothers crying, cities full of murdered blacks. Hispanics too, they hate you too. Edomites are not your friend. Harmless smile behind the scenes. They tracking you through iPhone 10 technologies, through policy. We served them since the colonies. This ain't our rest, my mind is right. This place is hell, I'm not at ease. I swore an oath with every breath. I promise to defend the Lord. Sword is sharpened, armored up. I'm calling for the men of
This is
war.
war.
We are at
So
war.
you better lace your straps up.
Physical and spiritual.
We're at war. So you better lace your straps up.
Man, the hell up this road.
This is war.
We are at war.
So you better lace your straps up.
Physical and spiritual.
We're at war. So you better lace your straps
Man, the hell
up.
up.
Maccabeestv, man, make sure you tune in. Salute this brother right here. You know, support him any way you can. Listen, when it comes to this, it's not all about money. So a lot of times you see me ask for donations. The biggest thing you can do to support this brother is like the video and share it.
All right, family, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Peace and blessings, and welcome to another edition of Maccabeestv. I am so sorry about the technical difficulties just a couple of moments ago, but in order to be safe, I got to start out by asking my family once again, how do I sound now? Do I still sound like I'm talking out of a can? Or does it sound better? If it sounds better, guys, put a 1 in the chat. Let me know it sounds a little bit better. Hey, what's going on? Let me shout a few of my peoples out in the building. Mika, the moderator. That's your name, Mika. Mika, the moderator. You're going to change your last name from Florida to Mika, the moderator. Shout out to you, Malexicorn. Shalom to you. Yaakov Bunny Howard. Shalom to you. Nugget, Halima, Lewis, Reese, Paul, Kwama Allah. Shalom to you. Shalom to everybody. Welcome to another edition of Maccabeestv. It is your brother, Priest Dan, represent Lions of Israel, represent Maccabeestv, represent the nation of Israel. Welcome to another edition of our show. Now, you guys know daggone well that I was going to say something, right? I just didn't want to do it yesterday because I figured, you know, yesterday, the news media, the mainstream news media was spinning their spin, or I should say spinning their spiel. That's a better way to put it. And I knew a lot of Israelites would go live and talk about it. So I kind of just wanted to take it all in and then wake up today and reflect on some of the things that we saw yesterday, right? Before I go any further, as always, I would ask my people, you brothers and sisters know the rules already. If you're in the house, I just need some engagement with the video so that more people can know that we're live. So I would ask you, if you got love for what we do, then you can hit the like button. If you are a hater, and there are many, you can also hit the dislike button. That's fine. I'm not moved or swayed one way or the other by likes or dislikes. I just like engagement, so that triggers the algorithm somewhat, and more people can see that we're live. That's how it works. Also, a quick shout out to everybody that's watching on Facebook as well. Peace to y'all. Of course, you guys do not have the option of the dislike button on Facebook, so you stuck with that like button. So you should hit it. And if you guys want to engage over on Facebook, you have to come over to YouTube. I never usually open up another window to look at the comments on Facebook. I don't want to confuse myself because I have a lot of tabs open. I will say this really quickly, family. That last live was my fault. Why it was janky. I'm going to stop doing that. It's laziness. I'm one side of the building where I work. It's just much easier for me to broadcast from over there, and the reception is always terrible. You know, so I said I was going to try it one more time, and that was the one more time it didn't work. So I apologize for that. Okay, let's get the thumbs up or the thumbs down going, family. Like I said, and leave a couple comments in the comment section, and you know, I'll check a little bit later and shout some more of you guys out as well. So you brothers and sisters see the title for the video, right? So of course we know that there was chaos in DC yesterday. Now we can have a very lengthy conversation about whether it was controlled chaos or not. Whether it was orchestrated chaos or was it spontaneous chaos? We can have that conversation, but we're not going to have that conversation today. We're just going to deal with a couple of takeaways, if I could, from what we saw yesterday. And these are things that I was already hearing, but we'll get to that in a second. So what I'm going to do, family, is I'm going to, in a moment, I'm going to share my screen. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen real quick, and let's get started. Hey, Latoya Denise, shout out to you. All praise goes to the Most High, man, not me. Most High Yahweh gets all the praise, not me. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay. All right, family. Let's start off here. Here's the first takeaway that I had from yesterday, and it's kind of something along the lines of what you just said, Sister Latoya. So it's along the lines of what you just said. So this is an article from Newsweek, right? Everybody knows Newsweek, mainstream media at its finest, right? Let's just examine the title of this video for a second. It says the FBI, Homeland Security, White House advisors foresaw possible riots, and they looked the other way. They foresaw possible riots, and they looked the other way. Family, these are facts. How do I know, family? How do I know that it's a fact that they knew? Because how in the hell they didn't know and I knew? See, if you're an avid watcher of this channel, you know that I did a video on Tuesday. And on Tuesday, I said that they were going to have a riot in DC on Wednesday, and they were all on their pages. This is the video right here. I got my finger over checking in with the family. Fake New Year is here, and it says buckle in your seatbelts. This is a video right here. A lot of you watched it. Some of you did not. I keep telling you guys, I'm in their forums. They come into ours, so I go to theirs. And I watch and I listen, especially the MAGA supporters. Remember, family, I have been telling you guys for months that your man Orange 45 did not concede. And what he was doing was he was exhausting all the provisions in the Constitution in order for him to stay in office. And guess what, family? There's still a couple of others. Even though Biden was certified by the Congress last night, there is still 2 weeks, and there are other provisions that he can exhaust. I'm not saying he will or he won't. It's not about prophesying nothing. I'm just informing my family because I do research, and I want us all to be on the same page. And so, of course, they knew, because they're in the FBI and the CIA monitors social media like everybody else. So they're in these forums too, and they hear what these people are saying too. People were saying they were going to DC with their guns and their knives and their bats, et cetera, et cetera. They were openly saying this. And so I'm in those forums and I'm watching that stuff. So I said, you know what I got to do? I'm going to bring this information to my family. And so I did that live Tuesday, and I mentioned it for those of y'all that watched it, right? I said they're going to go wild tomorrow. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. So of course they knew what was. Of course they knew. So that's when we begin to ask ourselves: is it spontaneous chaos or is it controlled chaos? Obviously, it couldn't have been too spontaneous based on this title. They knew it was going to happen, and they turned the other cheek, the other proverbial cheek. They turned their eyes and act like they didn't see it. And now the mainstream media is boo-hooing, and all the politicians are boo-hooing, acting like it was just some spontaneous thing that happened, and how could it happen, and how could we let this happen? Yeah, you let it happen, clearly. Okay, so let's read a little bit of this article, just a little bit, not too much. So this is Newsweek, as it says. It says they knew it could happen. They feared. Let me close this little player for this video here. I don't want that. They feared that Donald Trump would pull a Samson, bringing down the whole house on top of him in 2 weeks before he left the White House. Officials from the FBI, the Secret Service, Homeland Security, the District of Columbia government, the Pentagon, the National Guard, and the Joint Task Force National Capital Region, who spoke to Newsweek last weekend on condition of anonymity, all talked about the potential for protesters and militias and paramilitary goons, egged on by the president, to storm the White House and even the Capitol building. That was a mouthful, family. I want you guys to look at all these offices, all of them, that knew something was going to happen. All of them. What could the excuse possibly be? Okay, if one branch knew, or two branches knew, or even three branches knew and then the others didn't, then you can make a case. But you mean to tell me they all knew? All of them? And they knew when? Last weekend? And now we turn on the news today and they're acting surprised? No. No. And that's why I be telling some of you Israelites that are so swayed. Some of you guys, your talking points are so mainstream media. It's ridiculous. This is the same. I got to keep saying it because it irks my soul. This is the same mainstream media that not less than 2 years ago, when you had somebody that was not affiliated with the Israelite movement in over a decade, that went to New Jersey and shot up a grocery store with the small hat people in there, and they tried to pin that on the Israelite community, and no, they did not make a distinction by camp. And this is somebody that had not even visited an Israelite congregation in over a decade. And they tried to pin it and paint it on all of us. And you mean to tell me that when I watch some Israelite broadcasts, I see you guys, your talking points are from mainstream media? Are you crazy? As my man Joel Benjamin says, are you stupid or stupid? Like the Benjamites say. Are you kidding me? We're going to get into that in a minute. I don't want to go too far off into that. We're going to get into that in a minute because I'm going to help you guys out a little bit today. I'm going to help you out, and I'm not going to be here long either. All right, let's read another paragraph and let's move on. A half dozen sources spoke openly about the scenario. Wow. A half dozen people spoke openly about the scenario that the mob would take over the people's house and somehow the system would break down. They speculated that this could occur because of President Trump's treasonous behavior, because of leadership deficiencies in the federal government and Congress, because of the extreme partisanship of the moment, and because everyone was looking the wrong way. Exactly. Everybody was looking the wrong way. Family, I see everybody's talking about it on social media, and it's a great talking point, but I really don't want to get too far down that rabbit hole. But we all know, had that been us, had we had a million-man march on Washington, as the Nation of Islam had 3 times, and I went to 2 of them, I'm going to tell you, the police presence and the Secret Service during those 2 million-man marches in D.C. that I attended was airtight. It was airtight. They absolutely planned way in advance, and they had everything set up where those million so-called black men, women, and children that went down to D.C. for those marches couldn't do anything, man, even if they wanted to. So to me, and I'm speaking just for myself, it's clear that it's clear that this was definitely orchestrated. Ain't no conspiracy. It's definitely orchestrated. We're reading it. They looked the wrong way on purpose. What more do you want? Let's read one more paragraph. Oops, went a little bit too far. Come back. It says the blame was spread around with the FBI dismissing the Department of Homeland Security as a bunch of amateurs and thugs. So now, what do we have here, brothers and sisters? What do we call this? What scripture is this right here? What scripture is this right here? I got to come to the chat, but we're going to come right back. I want to know, what scripture was that? Anybody? Somebody put that scripture in the chat if you know what scripture that was. Does anybody know what scripture that was? Let me see. Somebody has to have it. Somebody has to have it. Let me share the screen again, because maybe I moved a little bit fast. I want to know, what scripture is this? Everybody should be putting it in the chat. Let's read this again. The blame was spread around with the FBI dismissing the Department of Homeland Security as a bunch of amateurs and thugs. Do any scriptures come to mind, brothers and sisters? Let me check and see what y'all saying. Anybody? No? Crickets? Crickets? Okay, I'm going to help y'all, brothers and sisters, out. Here it is. That is Satan divided against Satan. That's a kingdom divided against itself. And Yahushua, knowing their thoughts, and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And so this is what we're seeing right here. You have the different branches of the government as far as security, the different security branches of government, they're against each other. The FBI is calling Homeland Security a bunch of thugs and amateurs. Yeah, that's a kingdom divided against itself. And I say all praise to the Most High for that. All praises to the Father for that. This is beautiful. I hope, give me a second. I listen, I didn't even read this full article. I didn't come down this far. I got to soak this in. This is beautiful. Let's continue. I'm sorry. Listen, man. Hey, let me tell you something. It's going to get bad out here. It's going to get crazy. But we can do two things. We can sit down and wallow in our sorrows and be fearful, which is not what we're supposed to do, right? Or we can gird our loins like men. And you sisters, make sure that you get under some hedge and some protection and some leadership, because it's going to go down whether you want it to or not. And we have to go through these things to get the kingdom. So, God damn it, if it's going to come, let it come. And I'm not telling y'all, hey, it's going to be bad. It's going to be hard for all of us. But it must be for us to get the kingdom. So, God damn it, I'm sorry, I got to laugh a little bit. I got to find some humor. This is funny. This is a kingdom divided against itself. And our Lord said, therefore they cannot stand. So we're seeing in increments the beginning of the fall of our enemies, and your eyes is witnessing it. All praise to Yahweh for that. Let's continue. The military shaking their heads about President Trump and an absent White House leadership. Homeland Security Department members mocking the district. Oh, this is great. This is great. I didn't read all this. Oh, this is good. I'm sorry. Pardon me. This is nice. Let's read that again. The military shaking their heads about President Trump and an absent White House leadership. Homeland Security Department members mocking the District of Columbia mayor, Attorney General of Police, and everyone making it clear that the problem was somebody else's family. This is beautiful. I'm at work. I want to yell. This is beautiful. What? Man, the Most High never lied, man. The Lord never lied. All praises to the Most High for that. The Lord never lied. Oh, man. All right, let me chill, because I'm getting too happy reading this article. I'm getting too happy reading this article. Let me chill out. All right. Yeah. Let me see something. Let me see how y'all doing, y'all brother. Because y'all be doing me dirty. Family, can we get some more likes, please? Can we get a couple more likes? That'd be really, really nice. I would appreciate it. Or dislikes if you don't like me. That's fine. So just interact with the video. That's perfectly fine. All right. So let's get these two. Let's get these two tabs out the way so your brother don't get confused. And now let me share my screen again. And let's continue. Next up, family. This is the New York Post. This is from today, right? I was already hearing this last night, so let me just give you guys the backdrop. All right. On this. So as soon as I told you guys, I'm plugged in as far as I'm on a lot of these MAGA channels, and I'm on and I watch. And it gets difficult sometimes because they talk shit about our people and all that, but I'm plugged in, right? One of the ways of me being a watchman or watching for my people is not to watch mainstream media. That's the lazy way out, because the mainstream media is going to tell you whatever narrative they want to push. I go behind the scene. I want to know what's really going on the ground. So I go into these MAGA and Antifa groups. I see these MAGA groups and all these different groups, and I'll be, watching their videos. I watch their lives, while my Israelite family is on Facebook and YouTube, arguing all day long. That's not what I'm doing. Reason why y'all don't see me, because I'm over there watching what our enemies are doing. So I'm plugged into their channels. So what I did yesterday, while most people were watching mainstream media news, I went to plug into their channels again to see what was their narrative and their take on what happened at their rally. And immediately last night, while the mainstream media was blaming it all on the Trump supporters, these people were going live on their various channels immediately and were saying that stuff that was going on, the people that were actually breaking into the Capitol building and stuff like that, that was Antifa. That's what they were saying immediately. Now, I'm not here to argue one way or another, because it ain't none of my business. It ain't my fight. Even if it was Antifa, it's still a kingdom divided against itself. It's none of my business, but I'm just telling y'all what's going on. They're saying it wasn't them, it was Antifa. It is believable to a degree, family, because it was Antifa that infiltrated a lot of those Black Lives Matter marches and was doing that violence, and the mainstream media blamed it on Black people. So we have a precedence for this. Let's keep it a buck. Let's go down and let's read a little bit about this article. It says, excuse me, at least 2 known Antifa members were spotted among the throngs of pro-Trump protesters at the Capitol on Wednesday, a law enforcement source told the Post. This is absolutely hogwash. It was more than 2. Let's try maybe 200 or 2,000. Let's stop playing games. Anyway, the Antifa members disguised themselves with pro-Trump clothing to join the D.C. rioting, said the sources who spotted the infiltrators while monitoring video coverage from the Capitol. So again, let me just tell you guys, I was on one of the MAGA channels and I was watching one of their lives right after everything happened. And one of the people that was talking was like, they were surrounded by Antifa members. There was a whole mob of them while they was marching. And he said that the mob of Antifa members, this is what he said. Again, I don't know true or not. I'm just telling y'all what he was saying. He was like, there was a mob of Antifa members. And he said he could tell that they wasn't with the regular protesters because they was dressed different. And they broke away from the main march and said they were going to go around the back of the Capitol building or something and try to break in. This is what they're saying. He said it was a mob of them, not 1 or 2. The Post is telling y'all 1 or 2. The eyewitnesses are saying that there were many. You have to draw the distinction between this. The truth lies somewhere in the middle, family. We know that. We know that. Let's stop being totally dependent on mainstream media. And also, I'm not totally dependent on these MAGA people either. The truth is somewhere in the middle. All I'm doing is I'm just showing y'all what's going on, because a lot of mainstream media sources is not going to really report on some of the stuff like that. Let's continue. Let's read the second paragraph again. The Antifa members disguised themselves with pro-Trump clothing to join the D.C. rioting, said the sources, who spotted the infiltrators while monitoring coverage from the Capitol. And let me also say that, again, I want to thank you brothers and sisters that send me information, especially you brothers and sisters that y'all be dropping the hot rocks in my inbox on Facebook. I appreciate it. I don't always get to share it with everybody, but I appreciate you guys keeping me in the loop. And one of the things that you guys are going to see a lot of as time goes on, as the story begins to manifest itself more, we get more details about one thing that took place. You're going to see a lot of pictures like this, right? This is something that somebody dropped in my inbox. I don't have the original source, so don't ask me, but I've been seeing and hearing a lot of videos like this are circulating, so it'll come across your news desk at some point or another. So on the left, we have this guy that was at a Black Lives Matter rally. I don't know which one, I don't know when, right? And you can see how he's dressed. And you have the guy with the Viking horns, and you see the tattoo on the left. And somebody took a snapshot and said that this is the same guy that we all saw in the news, because we all saw him. He was at the Capitol. And what identifies him, of course, is the tattoos. Okay, you could take it or leave it, but I'm just letting you brothers and sisters know it's all over. Most of you have been seeing it yourself, but you're going to see a lot more of it. So the Trump people are saying that that was Antifa, not them. I say, who cares? It's a kingdom divided against itself. So as I seen everybody saying, we the Israelites, we're going to stand back and stand by and mind our damn business and let them fight each other. All right, let's come back. Let me make sure I'm sharing. Am I sharing? I am. Okay. All right, let's read the third paragraph here. The infiltrators were recognized due to their participation in New York City demonstrations. That's interesting, family. So alert people on the ground recognize some of the same people that were at the Black Lives Matter rallies in New York causing chaos were some of the same people in D.C., right? And were believed to have joined the rioting so that Trump would get blamed, the sources said. 2 other D.C. protesters were actually Philadelphia-based Antifa members, the Washington Times reported Wednesday night, citing a retired military officer with access to facial recognition. So they use facial recognition software. Somebody that was a retired military person either had access to a report or he himself did it. It doesn't really specify. They use facial recognition technology to match faces from the Black Lives Matter protests that got violent, and they matched them to some of the people that was at the Trump rally. So it is plausible. It is possible, although again, we don't care. It's not our fight. That what you guys saw in DC yesterday was a lot of Antifa. It was purposefully agitated through George Soros. And what this does is it opens up the door for them to pass a lot of new legislation and measures that's going to affect us all later. There's an end game to all of this. What is the motto? Ordo ab chaos. Order through chaos. They have to have a reason to implement certain things. They have to have a reason to institute martial law. They have to have their reasons. And these things give them the impetus to do these things. So we have to be very, very, very mindful of these things. Okay. I want you guys to pardon me 1 second. I'm gonna stop sharing for 1 second. I want to see if I can find something. There it is. Yeah, got it. You guys want to see this? I've shown this once before, but this is a perfect time for me to show this again. Can you guys bear with me 1 second while I bring this up, family? Just bear with your brother 1 second. I really appreciate your patience. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Maccabeestv, man, make sure you tune in. Salute this brother right here. You know, support him any way you can. Listen, when it comes to this, it's not all about money. So a lot of times you see me ask for donations. The biggest thing you can do to support this brother is like the video and share it. Just share it. If you like what I'm saying right here, go on your Facebook, go on your Twitter, and say, yo, check out what Doggy Diamonds was saying. I like what he said at the 3-minute mark. I like what he said at such and such. I could apply that. Everything that I say, you might not agree with. It might not apply to your life. But if I said anything today, right now, in this footage, that you can agree with, because we're always looking to disagree. If I said something that you could agree with and you think could be helpful to you and yours, share this video. That's what it's all about. So I'm Doggy Diamonds. We on Maccabeestv. Make sure you subscribe, you know, and click the bell also. The bell.
Shout out to the homie, man, for that love. That's always love. It's always a good brother. Shout out to my man, Doggy Diamonds. Okay, family, y'all gonna love this. Y'all gonna love this. I've showed this one time on this channel before. A while ago. Many of you probably never saw it, but I'm going to show you guys how easy it is. And I want you guys to use it. Please feel free to take this information I'm going to show you if you've never seen it before and use it to show other people. Let's spread the word on how this thing goes. I'm going to show you how easy it is. Anybody, anyone can do what we saw yesterday. You can do what you saw yesterday. If I wanted to be a rabble rouser and cause chaos, I could do what you guys saw yesterday. I'm going to show you how. The internet is a really interesting place. Check this out. Check this out. Brothers and sisters, here is a website called what? Crowds on Demand. Have you guys ever saw this before? Some of you have, but many of you have not. This is an actual website where you can buy protesters. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that? Not only does Antifa pay protesters sometimes $38 an hour and advertise in public, but you can do it too, ladies and gentlemen, for a reasonable price. You want to be a rabble-rouser and cause chaos? You too can do it. Okay? This thing is crazy. Okay? Crowds on Demand. Your home for protests, rallies, advocacy, audiences, PR stunts, and political events available nationwide. Let me just give you guys, I'm not going to go through the whole website, but let me give you guys some interesting things that you can do on this website. Let's just say, ladies and gentlemen, that you wanted to make yourself out to be like a celebrity or something like that, family. Do you know you can come to websites like this and you can buy fake paparazzi? And then you can tell the fake paparazzi to show up somewhere and start snapping your picture like you're a celebrity. And all the dummies that are on the street that see these people run up to you and start taking your picture are going to actually think that you really are a celebrity. Did y'all know that? You could do that. You could do that. Yo, it's crazy, man. You can, you know what? Forget it. It's not even that important. It's not even that important. Let's come down here. Let's read. Wow. Okay. Hire demonstrators. Are you looking to create a buzz anywhere in the United States? At Crowds on Demand, we provide our clients with protests, rallies, right? Flash mobs, paparazzi events, and other inventive PR stunts. Yeah, guys ever seen a flash mob of people that just appear out of nowhere for a rally or an event? That thing can be orchestrated. You have websites, you can buy that as a PR stunt. Some of what you brothers and sisters were seeing on the news yesterday, even the New York Post admitted it, a lot of that was a PR stunt by Antifa. I don't know what percentage, not here to argue, don't care, not my fight. I'm just educating y'all on what's out here, all right? These services are available across the country in every major city, every major U.S. city, every major U.S. metro area, and even smaller cities as well. We provide everything, including the people, the materials. Ooh, that's nice. The materials. Like what? Well, I remember during some of those George Floyd protests, do we remember like pallets of bricks appearing out of nowhere? Y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that? I remember that. Oh, okay. Who put them there? Nobody knows to this day, but they were there. The word on the street is Antifa does stuff like that. They provide the protesters and pay them, and they provided the pallets with the bricks. Well, they're not the only company that does stuff like that. I'm just saying. And even the ideas. You can come to us with a specific plan of action, and we can make it happen. Or you can approach us with a general idea, and we can help you plan the strategy, then execute it. Okay, so let's see. See what I said, family? See this one right here on the left? You can make yourself out to be a celebrity. Pretend like you're a celebrity. Why somebody would want to do that, I don't know. But I have my speculation on someone, not in our community, not in the Israelite community. I ain't gonna call it out. But I remember one particular individual that wanted to be a celebrity so bad in the conscious community. I'm giving y'all a hint. He used to be on Sonetta's platform. They had a press conference. He had a press conference, man. And if I'm a betting man, he used a website like this because he's nobody. How in the hell are you having a press conference? He's nobody. And you end up having a press conference with so-called reporters. Get the hell out of here, man. You brought that. That's just me. Pardon me, family. I'm just musing. I'm speculating. Don't mind me. Yeah. Anything else interesting in here? What's this? What is this? Oh, you can get a quote. You can request a quote depending on what you need. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. So you guys can see. Come down here. You see. You can. You can get a crowd on the street within 24 hours. If you can even hire speakers. You can write the speeches out. You ever walk past a rally and you hear somebody giving a grandiose speech? They have websites. You can buy that. Interesting. This is just I don't know. Maybe it's just me. That's pretty interesting. What y'all think about that? Let me come see what y'all talking about over here. What y'all think about that? Yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy stuff, brothers and sisters. So what I'm showing you, right? The purpose of me even showing you, brothers and sisters, that stuff is just for you guys to don't get so caught up in the narrative of the mainstream media and what they're saying happened yesterday. All right. There is a truth that lies in between what the mainstream media is saying and what the Trump supporters are saying. Somewhere in the middle lies the truth. And so I got love for my family. I got love for my audience. And y'all know I only go live when I got something to give y'all. So I just want to make sure that you guys are prepared so you can better filter what it is you're hearing now that you guys are seeing it. You are a lot more equipped to make better judgments on some of what you're seeing and come to your own conclusions. I'm not asking y'all to parrot or say what I'm saying. I'm just giving y'all the information. I want to share one more thing with you, brothers and sisters, if I could. Let me just check out if y'all doing me dirty or not. Y'all all right. I still could use a little bit more interaction with the video, but you know, what can I tell you? Y'all, some of y'all don't got no love for your brother, and that's okay too. I'm not mad, not emotional. Okay. This is what I want to tell you, brothers and sisters, right? Okay. I should have made a more exhaustive list, and I'll probably do this again shortly. This is what I want to tell you, brothers and sisters, right? When you see major events happening in the world, whether it be here or internationally, a lot of times we know that mainstream media, we've seen the charts, mainstream media corporations are controlled by a very small handful of people. So what you want to do is you want to be aware of some what they call alternative news sources to kind of see what's the other side is saying, what other people are saying. Of course, that's not on mainstream media because they'll report stories sometimes that the mainstream media is not. You also want to familiarize yourself with excuse me, with international news sources as well. So I'm going to give you guys about 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to give you guys about 5 channels that you guys can look for. I'll give y'all a second in case you might want to open up a pad and write it down, or if you want to write it down on a piece of paper, or you can come back to the video later. It's up to you. I'm not going to wait too long, but I'm going to give you guys some of the alternative news stations. So when something major is going down in the world, even not, sometimes just to see what else is not being reported here, at least once a week, twice a week, I'll go to these alternative news channels on YouTube to see what they're talking about. And a lot of times they're reporting on things even in this country that the mainstream media is not. So let's start with some of the more well-known ones that everybody knows about, right? So you have BBC America, all right? Or you can just watch BBC News, period, right? So you have BBC News. Am I sharing? Am I sharing? I know that'd be crazy, right? I keep asking myself that all the time. I'll be forgetting. No, dementia's not setting quite in yet, family. Nope, not yet, but maybe soon, because I'll be forgetting what the hell I'll be doing. All right, so you guys can see right here, you have BBC America, and then you have BBC News, right? Sometimes it's good just to get an outside perspective other than our mainstream media. Sometimes it's good to go and see what people outside of America are saying about events that are happening here. Also, of course, right, you'll get firsthand stories and news of what's going on in the UK as well, because we know a lot of our people are over there. So you want to broaden your horizons than just CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, and stuff like that. You kind of want to broaden your horizons. So BBC is a good source to get sometimes alternative news that you don't get on mainstream American media. Another one is Al Jazeera, right? Al Jazeera English. right? You guys want to come here as well. Al Jazeera News, they do a lot of good stories, family. They do a lot of good stories. I see a lot of times there's stories on Al Jazeera about things that are going on in this country that the mainstream media is not talking about that we wouldn't even know otherwise. So you might want to check out Al Jazeera. If you know what, as a matter of fact, if memory serves me correctly, let me write it down. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do y'all a solid better than that, right? When this video is done, after YouTube is done processing it, I'm gonna come back and at the very top comment that'll be on the video when the video is done processing, I'm gonna put down all these news sources because I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all are watching, you're at work, you're at different places, and you can't get this right now. And you may want it. So for those that want it, once this live is done, I'm going to pin this comment in the video, and I'm going to give you all these things, and you guys can just check it out from time to time. Another good source of alternative information is Russia Today, RT News. And this is going to give you a broader perspective of what's being said outside of this country. Because sometimes these alternative news stations keep it real. You know what I'm saying? We live in this world, right? So we should be aware, right? The scriptures say, watch as well as pray. So we need to be watching as much as we can. We're the watchmen. So we say, brothers, right? We're the watchmen, we're the teachers, we're the ones standing on the wall, sounding the alarm. It is your job to be watching. Seriously. You got to put down the social media. You got to put down the spirit of being an arguelite. A gotta be rightite. Is that a word? A gotta be rightite? You got to be arguing with somebody all day long, 500 comments because you got to be right. Instead of just shaking the dust and keeping it pushing and talking to our people about stuff that's affecting us all, regardless of camp, regardless of indoctrination. If you can't get to that level, then you might want to re-examine if you're a watchman at all. But that's another show. That's a whole nother show. Let's move on. Press TV. Press TV, family. All right. Press TV is another one. There's also another one that's pretty good. It's called Press for Truth TV. Press for Truth TV. And this dude is really he goes a lot into this dude. Listen, one thing I'm gonna say about this guy right here, Press for Truth, I don't necessarily got a lot of love for this dude, but I'm gonna tell you something. This dude has a lot of heart, right? There's a lot of people that want to lay hands on this guy because he shows up. He's in Canada, so he shows up and he's showing a lot of this stuff. A lot of the same stuff that's going on here is going on in Canada too. And he shows up at events and stuff and be calling out Antifa members, like going up to them with his camera in their face and all types of stuff. He just he's on it, right? And you be seeing on camera live like these Edomites, again, it's a kingdom divided against itself, none of our business, but I'm entertained by it. He goes to these rallies and these people step to him and be ready to put hands on him. It got so bad in one video that literally the police had the whole entire rally. I'm talking about, it was like 10,000 people out there. The whole rally surrounded this dude. And the police had to come in and swoop in to save his life because the people were going to fall on this guy and they was going to finish him off because everybody recognizes him in Canada. I know for some of you guys have never heard of this before, but in Canada, he's well recognized because he show up. Jake is always talking about pulling up. This Edomite pulls up at events in Canada on Antifa, Black Lives Matter, the Prime Minister. He pulls up and everybody recognizes him at these events. So when he goes there, like, it's always somebody ready to put hands on this guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's very interesting. And he brings out a lot of information of stuff that's going on in Canada. One of the things that's going on in Canada that already happened in Australia that I find to be very interesting is that the Prime Minister Trudeau has already passed an assault weapons ban in Canada, right? So he's already basically, the people up in Canada that own what are deemed as assault rifles, it's already been banned, and they have a buyback program in Canada that's already going on. What is the platform for Joe Biden, brothers and sisters? What is Joe Biden's platform? Joe Biden's platform, Kamala Harris's platform, and some of the other people that ran on the Democratic ticket, all of them agreed that they want to repass, because Clinton already did it. They want to repass an assault weapons ban. Why is that important, brothers and sisters? Why is that important? For those of y'all that watch the Road Rage show, y'all know I keep saying it. Y'all know I keep saying it. But for some, give me 1 second, family. 1 second. I am at work. Yeah. Hello? I'm live, so I'm gonna call you back. Bye-bye. Yeah. Okay, so those of you that watch the Road Rage show every Monday, you guys know I've mentioned it a few times. But for those of y'all that have never watched the Road Rage show, I'm going to explain it to you now. The reason why an assault weapons ban is something that a lot of people are very, very up in arms about is because when you look at the statistics, assault weapons will be something, the most popular so-called assault weapon that most people have in states where you are allowed to own firearms is what they call the AR-15. That's the most popular one. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of you Israelites on, I said it the other day, I ain't trying to throw no shade. I see a lot of you Israelites on Facebook that live in gun states and y'all be showing yours. I don't know why. You know what? I'm just going to leave that there. Man, I don't know. Anyway, niggas just be telling on themselves. Man, anyway. And yeah, even if it's legal for you to have it, everybody don't got to know what you got. Anyway, I said I'm going to leave it, right? So when you look at the statistics, they say maybe about 2% of gun violence in America is caused by what they call assault rifles, AR-15. So if only 2% is caused by assault weapons, that means the other 98% is caused by what, brothers and sisters? Is caused by handguns. So what they're doing is first they want to ban the AR-15s, the assault rifles, the AR-50s, etc. They want to get rid of those first, right? They know damn well that by them banning those weapons, the numbers are not going to change. The numbers are still going to remain high for gun violence in America. They know that. So when it doesn't work, guess what they're going to come for next? They're going to come for the regular handguns that brothers and sisters, some of you legally own by law, by the Second Amendment. They're going to come for those next. That's why a lot of these militia groups, a lot of these right-wing groups, so forth and so on, that's why they're riding so hard on this assault weapon, because they understand and they see what eventually could happen. Remember, Adolf Hitler did this too, family. I know some history. Hitler did this too. He disarmed the population before he made his move. That's another day, another time. So I'm just putting y'all on to that. That's very, very, very important to keep your eyes on that stuff, right? And in most states, many of you know this, in most states where you are allowed to have firearms, y'all go out and try to see if you can get some ammunition. First of all, ammunition is hard to find, and if you can find it, they're price gouging. Never show. So this dude goes into all of that as well. All right. Sorry, I just went off totally on a tangent on that, but I mean it was relevant. So one more channel that is good is this one right here. It's called the Next News Network. Right. This is an independent news station, and they're doing pretty well. They're one of the few independent stations that's actually doing just about as well as mainstream media. These people have almost 2 million subscribers, and I noticed yesterday before the rally, you could see it right here. I ain't got to open it. They were reporting that they were cutting cell phones off and cutting mobile data at the march. And I was noticing that the people that were actually trying to film in certain areas of DC live from the march, their videos were looking choppy, they were looking fuzzy, they had very bad reception. That probably is on purpose because they don't want the footage out there that, for whatever reason, you can fill in the blanks with your own, so that was going on as well. So these are just some of the good alternative news channels on YouTube that you brothers and sisters can look into just to get a little bit of a balance. On what's going on. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you brothers and sisters. All right. I hope this information is a GMS rebuke attempt. I caught the GRT. I know y'all watch that a lot too. I see some of the brothers from GMS. I know a lot of y'all look at Russia Today too. Yeah, it's a great channel, man. A lot of good information there. So hopefully what I showed you brothers and sisters is helpful. let's just stay in the spirit. Let's watch. Let's pray. Let's get our, get back into our fasting. Brothers and sisters, I think now more of you brothers and sisters can appreciate what it is that I've been trying to show y'all all of 2020, as far as just making sure that to have just to make some small preparations in your house, in all the ways y'all have already heard me say a million times, because you guys can see that chaos is around the corner, right? It's around the corner. So the time for slacking and lollygagging is over. The time for slothfulness is over. It's over. And another thing, and I said this to my camp, and I'm going to say this to all of you brothers, regardless of camp affiliation or not, all you brothers that are street teachers, understand the window for us to street teach is small. Most High has been showing me that, putting that in my spirit for a while. The window for us to continue to street teach is small. Let me tell you guys some reasons why. Just some of the reasons that I'm seeing as to why. And it's going to vary depending on where you're located, et cetera, et cetera. So it's not going to be a blanket thing for everybody. But in states that are more like police states, like New York and New Jersey and places like that, right? They're going really hard with the jab. You want to call it the jab, right? There may come a point in a time where if you don't have that and you're outside, and you're teaching and stuff like that, you may get approached, brothers and sisters. You may get approached. I had a run-in yesterday, family. I'm not going to go too deep, but I had a run-in yesterday. Over, I be telling you, I don't like wearing the mask. I had a run-in about my mask yesterday with the with some very, very, in this society, some very, very important people, and I stood my ground. Right? I'll say this much, man. The Department of Homeland Security, I went somewhere and I didn't have my mask on. And one of the agents from Homeland Security stepped to me and was like, "Where's my mask?" And I told him I ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? And so he asked me for my ID and everything. And I read him the riot act. Yes, I did. I read him the riot act. And he did not like it. But the spirit just jumped on me and I wasn't scared of him. And I told him exactly how I felt and told him if he didn't like it, that's his problem. You know what I'm saying? It's your problem. You know what I mean? But that's for another day, another time. Maybe I'll share with y'all. But yeah, the time is gonna come where people do, somebody like me do something like that. Y'all ain't gonna ever see me again. Throw me in the bottom of the cell, but it's all good, man. Listen, the Lord is with us, man. We don't have no fear. It's not the time to be fearful, family. It's the time to use prudence, have vision, make sure your prayers is up. Make sure that you get in line and right with the Most High. Make sure you make things right with your brother and your sister. Okay, make sure you brothers and sisters are fasting for spiritual reasons. Make sure you brothers and sisters are fasting because there's going to come time where there's a shortage of food and you may not be able to eat for 2 or 3 days. And you should be able to get through that without killing over. You know what I'm saying? And, woe is me. You should be able to do it. If you fast, you condition your body to go without food. Or you don't have to always do just a no food fast. You can do a fruit fast. You can do a water fast. You can do a liquid fast. You can do a smoothie fast, whatever. You don't have to have chicken and burgers and rice and steak and potatoes and macaroni every damn day. We got to stop all that, family. It's time. It's time now. It's time. Okay? Brothers and sisters, make sure that your affairs are in order. We're burying too many people with GoFundMes in Israel. It's getting out of hand now. It's getting out of hand. Make sure that your life insurance and everything is on point. And if you are part of a congregation, if somebody knows what to do if something happens to you. Because it's something's going to start happening to a lot of us. Make sure you're prepared. These are hard conversations. Y'all don't want to hear it, but that's my job. Make sure. Make sure that you get some type of burial insurance, man. Get you a lawyer, call up LegalZoom, whatever, get you a lawyer, and make sure that if something happened to you, your congregation, your Israelite family could bury you and not your family, so that you get buried according to our traditions and not under a picture of Caesar Borgias. I'm giving you these jewels because I see it happening over and over and over and over and over again in Israel. And not enough leaders, I'm talking to you leaders, not enough of y'all are having these hard conversations because people don't want to have it too bad. That's our job, right? But I ain't going to preach to you guys today. My phone has been ringing. I'm supposed to be working. And I'm sitting here talking to y'all. Anyway, much love, much peace, much blessings. And thank you to everybody that's been hitting the Cash App, that's scrolling across. Love, it's all going to the work, trust me. For you brothers and sisters, that's the website if you want to donate. If anything that we're doing is helpful to you and you want to donate to us, I appreciate it. It helps us more than you brothers and sisters could ever know. It all goes to the work, not to me. I got 2 jobs. Y'all know that. Last thing. Cryptocurrency roundtable, Most High will tonight. If it doesn't happen, that means my guests couldn't make it. But I checked in with them yesterday. They said they could make it. So you guys should be looking for the cryptocurrency roundtable tonight. Most High will. Look out for that. It's your brother Priest Dan, representing Lions of Israel, Maccabeestv. Much love, fam.
I wanna praise you, Yahweh. I wanna thank you, Yahweh. I'm so grateful, Yahweh. I wanna thank you, Yahweh.
For the promises. Life is a blessing and life is a lesson. Life is a setback and life is progression. Life is uneasy at times, life is comfortable. Life will lift you up and at times, life will humble you. Life is a gift, you better thank the Lord for it. Every chance you get, someone is less fortunate. Life goes in circles, life throws you curveballs. Life can be deceiving like preachers in the church halls. Life isn't promised. If I could be honest, the fact that I'm alive, that time has me astonished. Cause I came from the underground, being tossed around, being lost and found. Now they adore the sound of the priest, far from a nuance. Verses are proverbs, written's are the new songs. Another song for the blocks and the avenues. Everything is plain, I don't speak to them in
I wanna
parables.
praise you, Yahweh.
I wanna praise you.
I wanna thank you, Yahweh. I'm so grateful,
I'm so grateful.
Yahweh. I wanna thank you, Yahweh.
For the power, I see the world through different eyes. Every Sunday got the preacher telling different lies, hearing things that I really couldn't visualize. Should've listened, Big said you'd be hypnotized. I was a victim too, I say respectfully. They all up in the soup, don't know the recipe. Talking about I'm not who I was bred to be. Count me out, man, who made you the referee? Trying to get stripes, trying to cloud chase. At 19, I made an about face. Thanks to Christ, it's also about grace. And they lied when they said it ain't about race. But that's another song, I ain't the first to tell you. Woke up on a deeper and a surface level. Learned the laws and the laws changed my attitude. And the song is to show you how a gratitude. I'm so grateful.
I wanna praise you,